BoDean 52, how are you, folks? Hope you are well. I gotta tell you, a recent business trip really had me thinking. The older and older I get, the less I like people, and the more I like my motorcycle. So this past week, I was in Denver, Colorado. And by the way, the most miserable airport you will ever be in. But half the people are high there, so it's everybody's happy anyway, unless you're visiting. And I was on my way back late week, and when you go into the airport, you kind of look over the security area. And for some reason, I let my TSA expire, so I had to go through the regular line. And I don't know if you've seen some of those like games when you're kids, where you see, people and stuff going. But I'm standing there looking at it, and there must have been like 200 people, and just walking back and forth, line to line, like they're in a milking trough. I'm like, oh my God, this is miserable. Thank God I'm on my way home to get on my motorcycle, because it's supposed to be a good weekend in Michigan, and when it is late in the year, those don't happen often. So that got me through the 3-hour plane flight, as well as standing in that long line. But it made me think, and maybe it's just me as I'm getting older, that I like people less. Now, I don't mean you all. I mean, we're all a community, right? As a matter of fact, you guys are the real positive part of it. But generally, where I used to like being in a big area, like I lived in Chicago for years. What are you doing? Now I can live in the woods, no doubt. And I was thinking about, I really do like my motorcycle a lot better than being around people. Is that bad? It's bad. And I guess there's a lot of reasons. So the first one is, you can ride alone like I am today and just get that enjoyment. For me, it's of a crazy work week. Really spent more time in meetings, maybe a few cocktails every night until I passed out. But no touristy stuff, none of that stuff, all work. And I'm like, man, isn't it going to be great to just get on the motorcycle and be alone? Just ride by myself. Now, I love riding with my wife. A little too cold in Michigan for her right now. But it is really nice to just be able to kind of be alone, ride by yourself, or you can ride with friends, which is also cool. And that's the one great thing about motorcycle riding, is whatever you want works out the best when it comes to being alone on the bike or riding with somebody else. Number 2, unless you're having problems with your bike, you can usually count on them. I mean, if you're maintaining it, you're taking care of it, you got gas in it, you can bet that normally it's going to fire up. It's going to be the same bike when you go out. You're going to get that consistency. That is really, really sweet. I was just going to say, what's that dude? That's crazy. He's sitting there in that nice view taking a picture of his car. Who does that? And then I realized that I take pictures of my motorcycles like that all the time. So I get it, dude. I get it. I really do get it. But the consistency, and I'll tell you what, you guys follow the channel know, I probably have, or I do have 3 great friends, and I try to stay focused, not as much as I should have lately, on investing in those friendships than having a bunch of them, right? So, got to make sure that, from my perspective, those 3 guys can count on me, just like your bike. You can always count on it if it's ready. And you always can't count on everybody. So that makes the bike much better than people. Number 3. I will tell you that I have people that I work with and people I know and friends that honestly are sensitive. And I can be sensitive sometimes, believe it or not. You know, we live in that world nowadays where everybody in the freaking world is sensitive. Oh, don't say that. Oh, by the way, so while I'm on this trip, I'm out with a bunch of my peers. One guy runs our Dallas operations, and he has this little catchy phrase called "Dominate Dallas," and he uses that a lot. And I guess he had to stop it because apparently that was sensitive. Which I'm like, oh my gosh. Actually, there was we were purchasing another company too, so apparently you can't, have dominate in the marketplace when you're doing that stuff. But it was also, somebody thought that was a little sensitive. Your bike doesn't give a crap. Really doesn't care. Not at all. Give me gas. Let's ride, baby. It is not sensitive at all. Well, let me rephrase that. My 2000 Road Key Classic goes by the name of Duke. If you don't know, Duke can be a little sensitive when it gets cold, now that I'm thinking about it. That's why I'm out on my Road Glide Limited right now. But bikes, generally, are not sensitive, and people are. Number 4. Your social status doesn't matter. When you have a motorcycle, we are all one. Brothers and sisters. Don't get sensitive. I know, what a true brother and a true sister means. I get it. In general, we all ride. Social status doesn't matter. You may have a president of a company. You may have somebody that's unemployed. You may have, whatever type of job it is. When you have a motorcycle and you're riding, it doesn't matter. Now, social status, unfortunately, sometimes does matter. Look at this orange car. In the real world, and it shouldn't, I've always said, tell me how a potential employee treats a housekeeper that's just doing her job, working for her family, or a waiter or waitress doing the same thing. How they treat that person is usually how good of an employee they're going to be, in my opinion. Social status doesn't matter. That's why I like bikes more than people. Number 5. Sometimes people aren't always up for an adventure, or to travel, or to go somewhere. Hey, honey, I got to go to Lowe's. You want to go with me? Nah, I really don't want to go to Lowe's, dude place. I don't want, I want to do that. No, and that's good. But I asked, so I'm good, by the way. And that's my intent, just so you know. But your motorcycle's always up for it. If it's running good, it's got gas. Sometimes I feel guilty, but if it's been multiple days, I haven't rode the bike. I walk by it, I go out, I get in my truck, I drive away. I'm like, the bike's up for a travel. You're always up for a travel. Your bike wants to go, wants to ride. Bikes are to be ridden. Sometimes people don't want to do that, right? So that is number 5, again, why motorcycles are better than people. And number 6, usually, you don't have a bad ride. Usually, something bad doesn't happen. Maybe you get caught by a little Toyota, which really isn't a big deal. Maybe your bike breaks down, so I guess that'd be bad, or construction or anything like that. But other than that, matter of fact, Mrs. BoDean, every time I come home, how was your ride? Not once have I ever go, it was crappy. I hated it. It was awful. Even if the weather's bad sometimes. You know, it's like, hey, I'm riding. How bad can it be, right? So, it is always a good ride. With people, sometimes not so much. Well, there is the BoDean 52 philosophy on why you should like your motorcycle more than people. Okay, that's probably not really good advice at the end of the day, because I love all you guys, and I truly do appreciate you, but I hope you get what I'm talking about. Are you changing as you get older a little bit about your wanting to be around others and wanting just to be more with your spouse or your family or a couple great friends? And do you find that your motorcycle is better than people? Love to hear your comments. Thanks for checking in today. Listen to me, Babylon. Be safe out there. I'll see you soon. Make sure to check on a friend. Bye-bye, folks.